would like to share this with the people in Montreal that are not going to have a team anymore. But my heart and my ring is with them too.
This one's for the Expos. Annie Slade's got the springtime blues real bad. Can't help but reminisce about the great years we had. I remember photo day 83 summer. Yeah, I still have to pick up me, my pops, and my brother. I remember All-Star Game 5 band strong. 59,000 fans looking on. I remember tears at the kid's last game. Stood right behind him as the anthem played. Now my homemade sign's got his autograph name on the newspaper cover, first rush with fame. I remember singing Valtteri, Valderall, 03 wild card race last hurrah. I remember Vlad 40-40 in the call they got wrong. The game against the Braves, Cliff Floyd going long. Still missing Montreal ball 6 years on. Yeah, sometimes you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Turn that 6 over, upside down, huh? Welcome back, Melnick in the afternoon, TSN 690, along with Rod Francis and Mitch Gallo. Mitch Melnick with you until 7 o'clock. And I gather Expo fans, the ones that never went away and are still waiting for the return of Major League Baseball and will wait as long as it takes, feel less lonely as the days progress. Of course, the formation of the Montreal Baseball Project, spearheaded by Warren Cromartie, who's coming to town next week. There has always been an Expos Nation on Facebook, and the man who put that together and has now taken it one step further, he is the host of Game Points right here on TSN 690, Sundays at 6 and Tuesdays at 11. Matthew Ross joins us. How you doing?
Hey, Mitch. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. What is going on? What have you done with Expos Nation?
Well, I can't take credit for founding it. I found it online. It was sort of dormant and had about, I think, 100,000 followers. And I finally got in touch after a long time searching. The guy who wrote back is a guy who just lives in Toronto and, created it, didn't know what to do with it. Said, here, you take it over. So it's been a lot of fun the last couple of years. It led to our big event last September in Toronto, where Jim Fanning sat with us in the crowd and got a lot of attention, including from Fox Tampa Bay, because the Rays were in town, and National Post and all over. So we had a lot of people asking us if we'd come back again and what can they do to help and where can we go, and you guys should have a website. And so it kind of just derived from that. And so, yeah, today is sort of a culmination of a lot of people's efforts.
So what is it? What is Expos Nation? What is the website?
All right, well, exposnation.com is a website that has a twofold purpose, I guess. One is to honor and celebrate the history of the Expos, a place for people to share their pictures, videos, see what others are sharing as well, just like the song you played from Anakin Slade, of course. And then the other reason is to continue to show Major League Baseball, the media, and everyone in North America, including prospective investors and owners, that the town of Montreal actually still has Montreal baseball fans. And so we're planning an event for Montreal later on this year. We're going back to Toronto July 20th. Jim Fanning will once again be sitting with us. And we expect to have a lot more people than last year, and just try and, continue to not forget that we had a team here, and try and, continue to keep people active. The biggest demographic on our Facebook page is 18 to 24-year-olds in terms of being involved, which I was really shocked by. So,
how do you explain that?
I don't. Maybe it's the generation of Facebook, although, the older generation certainly use it as well. I think people love the merchandise. That's where it came from, right? There's, French hip-hop artists that use it. There's, the logo is being used all over in North America, and it's still one of the most popular baseball hats that's purchased, including the 30 clubs that are in Major League Baseball. So it came from that, and now my question that people keep asking me is, well, it's great you're going back to Toronto, but what are you going to do here in Montreal? So that's what we're working on right now.
With Matthew Ross of Game Points, and now www.exposnation.com. How is this similar and or different than the Montreal Baseball Project?
Well, I've been in touch with Crow almost weekly, so he's well aware of what we're doing. Our side, as Anakin always reminds me, is grassroots. So we're just about the fans. Warren's about, the organization and trying to put something together to bring baseball back here. And I think that owners and investors out there, they want to see that there's an appetite for it. So I think that's where the Expos Nation side comes in. And we were just, nominally blown away today when I checked my inbox this morning, and just in time for the launch, I got a message from the people that represent Vladimir Guerrero with a picture and a personal message from him for this group, which is just phenomenal to see him in a jersey again.
Yeah, I'm looking at the site. I was going to bring up the Vlad Guerrero, the message that was there in terms of former, and that's pretty cool because Vlad Guerrero, obviously, when he was here, not one of many words, but when you have Expos, which Expos are you looking to get into contact with? Can we hear more positive vibes from some of the former players that played here?
Well, I had Cliff Floyd on my show a couple weeks ago, and he's all for coming back to the city regardless. And he's a funny story because he's working for Jeffrey Lorio right now, so that's kind of funny. But we're in contact with Vlad's people. His agent's on my show this coming Sunday. He's a guy that nobody has seen in this town since Frank Robinson pulled him out in the 8th inning of the final home game of 2003, and people were booing, throwing stuff on the field because they wanted to see him bat again. That's the last memory anybody has of Vladimir Guerrero in the city. He didn't do a post-mortem press conference. He's not a guy who is in the limelight. So that's the last memory people have here in the city. I thought I was working with the right people all winter. It turned out it wasn't his agents. They were just former agents that didn't tell me that. But I'm with the right people now. We're working on something. I can't really, discuss it yet, but we're hopeful. But, we're also mindful that he's still trying to come back and join a team this year.
I'll never forget that moment. It was one of those moments that sort of put a mark on our season of what we was out to accomplish, and we knew who was in our way. And to get to where we wanted to get to, it was the sort of defining moment, as you said, in my career, because it was a big home run off one of the best pitchers in the game, and it gave us an advantage moving forward that we could beat these guys.
There is Cliff Floyd, part of his appearance with Matthew Ross on Game Points a couple weeks ago, and the memory that brings back for me. 94, Cliff Floyd was playing first base, and when people say Cliff Floyd to me, two things come to mind. One is that gruesome wrist injury. Remember that? The bang-bang play at first base, and the throw arrived at the same time as the runner. I think it might have been Todd Hundley of the Mets, but not sure, and that sidelined Cliff Floyd for a while. And, of course, the home run off Greg Maddux. I was with my 3-year-old daughter, and I decided early in the game that afternoon to take a tour of Olympic Stadium to show her every inch of the Big O, and we ended up in the bleachers in right field where Willie Stargell had hit a monster home run. And I was sitting in that seat, and Cliff Floyd hits a ball, and it's under us, and it's off Greg Maddux. And there's like 45,000 people in this. And that moment was like, this team is going somewhere. This is for real. What we're witnessing right now, this is for real, that 94 team. Never forget that with Cliff Floyd. And as you say, Matthew, he's working for Jeffrey Loria. The guy can't be all that bad if he's hired Cliff Floyd.
Well, it's a funny story, right? I mean, the guy comes up in the minors with one of the greatest, generations of Expos talent, plays on the 94 team, is traded away, wins the World Series with the Marlins, comes back here and plays for the Expos when they're owned by Major League Baseball, and now he works for Jeffrey Loria. I mean, this guy's got the most unique perspective on the city of Montreal and Expos baseball. And, yeah, that home run he mentioned, it would have been the defining moment of the 94 season, late June in 1994. He just loves the city. He was here in 2011 for a function, and he would love to come back for something else.
Now, you mentioned you guys are going to go back to Toronto again. Very quickly, details on how people can join you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've worked actually with the Blue Jays. I know people are turning their radios off when they hear that, but it's not about them. It's about making a statement at a Major League Baseball park that's affordable and easy to reach. So bluejays.com/Expos. If you purchase the tickets on that link, you'll be sitting with other Expos fans. We had an absolute blast last year. People were chanting Expos. You had about 20,000 Blue Jay fans, 200 Expo fans. All you could hear were the Expos fans, including on the actual TV broadcast. It was a little embarrassing for them.
www.exposnation.com. Matthew Ross, it's up and running. All the best with this. Who are you talking to Sunday?
I'm chatting with Greg Maroney, who is the agent for Vladimir Guerrero. We were supposed to have him on Tuesday, but Vlad had a funeral that day, so he couldn't get enough info on the latest with whether or not he'll sign somewhere. Hey, Big Poppy's hurt. Maybe Boston, huh?
Expo, well, he's not going to Baltimore and Dan Duquette because he put the kibosh on that when Gallo asked him about it last spring. All the best, Matthew. Thank you.
Thanks, Mitch.
Exposnation.com.